all my friends. You know, it has been forever. I know. I keep saying I'm going to be back and I'm going to make more videos. Well, the time has come. It is early spring. It's like the beginning of March. Snow is melting. I'm in the RV, doing some work on mechanical stuff. I haven't gotten in here to shampoo the carpets and everything else yet, but I am starving. And you know, being that it's not full camping season, I don't have a lot in the RV to eat. So this is another episode of Renegade Ramen. What we're going to start doing, and I already have a few videos up. I'm going to start the playlist on different ways to spice up ramen a little bit. You know, ramen noodles comes in a little pack. It's like 15 cents for a soup. There's a lot you could do with those. My big problem with the ramen noodles is there's no nutritional value and they're so high in sodium. To get that amount of salt with no nutritional value really doesn't make much of a sense. So I very rarely just eat ramen by themselves. You know, cup of noodles or whatever. They're all pretty much the same. So what I do is I make things with them. They're great for a base. You got some ready pasta in there. You got a bouillon in there and pretty much ready to go. So there's a lot you can do with them. What we're going to do today is Faux Pho. And if you don't know what that is, stay tuned. So pho is a Vietnamese soup, usually made with rice noodles. Now, because we're using ramen, we're not going to be able to do rice noodles. And because we don't have like 24 hours to simmer the broth and make this incredible nectar of the gods, we're kind of going on the cheap, we're going on the easy, and we're using things that we generally have, well, I generally have, inside my RV, or at least in the house that I can put into the RV. So, first step is 3 cups of water. That's right, I didn't measure it. Doesn't need to be that precise. We're talking ramen here, guys. This is Renegade Ramen. It's not about having a plan. Woo! Now we're talking. I think I smell hair burning. Okay, now as we heat that water up, we're going to add some basil. Right to the water. I like to do the dried herbs first, only because you want those to get good and hydrated and actually flavor the broth that the pho is going to need. All this cooking makes me thirsty. To that, we will add 1 beef bouillon cube. As Emerald would say, BAM! Okay, so even though we put beef bouillon cubes, just 1, into the soup, we're still going to use the chicken ramen soup. But instead of using both of these chicken soup packets, the chicken flavor packets, we're going to put one of those back into the bouillon container here. You see I have 3 of them in there because I don't always use those seasoned packets. That's where most of your sodium's coming from. But we are going to use 1. We're going to add that now. And stir. What was that again? Bam! You know, one day I'll tell a story about I went to a Emerald Live show, to a live filming of the show. It was an interesting experience. Someday I'll tell that story. Okay, so far all we have is a chicken and beef broth. No, this is not traditional. That's why it's called faux pho. Some say faux, so it could be faux pho or faux pho, as I like to say. It is pronounced pho, but here in the States, you know, most people call it pho. And I'm okay with that. Either way, it's PHO and it's super yummy soup. Now, we'll bring that to a boil. All right, so we're making faux beef pho. that makes any sense to you at all. It's not supposed to. This is Renegade ramen. What we do is we use the frozen meatballs. You'll see in a lot of my past videos, I use these frozen meatballs for sandwiches, things like that. I'll cook a whole crock pot full of them with some sauce and then package them up, put them in the freezer, and then while I'm out hunting, camping, whatever, I can spend more time enjoying the outdoors and less time cooking. Now in the winter, a hot meatball sub is always a welcomed treat, as well as ramen pho, or faux pho as I like to call it. This is a shaved steak. I do the same thing. I shave a steak, or I buy packages of shaved steak, and then I freeze it in these little Ziploc baggies like that. And that allows me to have just a little bit. If I want to have some shaved steak with eggs, I can make the beef pho. I can do almost anything I want with it. I could have a steak and cheese sandwich if I want. I take out 2 packages. Now normally, pho, you can see my broth is looking really good here. I wish I had more light. I know this video is probably a little grainy. But what are you going to do? I use the camera that I have. Broth is coming along, just starting to boil. We're going to add the noodles in. And we don't want to break them up. We want the noodles whole. Trying to do this one-handed. We'll add the second. We'll also add in our meatballs. And then in about 2 minutes, we'll add in our piece of frozen shaved steak. Faux pho. Now, seriously, I love pho. There's a little place not too far from here. We go to get it. We do find it very salty, and every time I eat it, it made me think of ramen noodles. I mean, better than ramen noodles, obviously. I'm not trying to, poke a stab at anybody's cooking, but pho is generally very salty, very high in sodium. So going to eat it is what made me come up with this idea a couple years ago. I never was able to put it on a video because I never had the shaved steak and other things too that you need to have with it. But I happen to have it now, so I thought it'd be a good video, a good episode of Renegade Ramen. Watching Sweet Country on Netflix with Sam Neill. Pretty good so far. Kind of weird. Now we'll add the beef. Now generally, pho, the beef is cooked, sliced very thin, and cooked in your bowl as it's coming to your table. Here, because the beef is frozen, we don't have that luxury. So that's pretty much it for the pho. Now, I'm going to turn it way down low, and then I'm going to get the rest of the ingredients, and we'll plate that up, and then I'll show you how this is served. Oh, and get out your chopsticks, start practicing. I don't want you guys using a fork. There you have it, guys. Let me show you what this is all about. All right, so what we have here is our pho. Granted, it's faux pho. So you have your beef, you have your meatball, noodles. Now, they're not rice noodles, okay? This is ramen. It's faux pho, okay? Renegade ramen, ramen gone wild, whatever you want to call it. We have our greens. Now, generally speaking, you get some sprouts, basil, cilantro. I like cilantro. We have some green onion, lime, and jalapeno. And for sauces, we do the sriracha and hoisin sauce. Now, some people like to put the sauces right in the pho. I don't. I like to dip on the side here in the plate. But let's try it, see what's going on. Oh, and here is our spoon. Yes, that's a traditional pho spoon. You are supposed to drink and eat the soup with the spoon. This is faux pho. It is not meant to be an insult. I could probably make the real thing if I pulled up a recipe. Now, if you never had sriracha, it's very spicy. If you've never had hoisin sauce, It's a sweet, thicker, kind of got a little bit of taste like a soy sauce, or a little fish sauce. It's very good. But as you can see here, I like to put it on a plate separately. In the pho, I like to drop a few jalapenos in. Maybe a squeeze of lime. You put your sprouts in. Your sprouts will cook right on top. Green onion. And I try to make as much contact. If you notice, I'm putting the stuff around. And some of your parsley. And there you have it, guys. Faux pho. Dunk everything in. That lime really gives it that nice taste. Then you can take your meatball. I don't know about you, but these look a lot like the ones I get at the Vietnamese place. And you dip it. Very tender. How about the beef? See, you got your pieces of beef. Seriously, guys. I put these recipes out there. I show you what I do because it does gives you like a new look on food. It makes you make something out of nothing, basically. If you like ramen noodles, you like this. And you might go out there and try the pho because it is very similar. The broth doesn't have the depth that real pho does, but I gotta tell you, can't go wrong with this. And then you have your spoon. Now, unfortunately, I'm holding the camera with one arm, so I can't do it like I normally would. But then you have your soup with your spoon. And it's really hot, so it's totally acceptable to slurp a little. I'm digging it. Now use your spoon to mix things up. Add a little noodle on there. Slap a jalapeno. Dip a meatball in your sauce. Put it right on top like that. Yeah, throw a little bit of that shaved beef on there. Well, there you have it, guys. So what do you think, guys? Success or what? I gotta tell you, if you could taste this, you would think it was halfway decent, but I'm telling you right now, you wouldn't believe that I did this out of ramen noodles and just some ingredients out of the fridge. Faux pho. Renegade ramen, people. Renegade ramen. All right, get out there, get the ingredients, make a quick batch of it up. It takes less than 30 minutes, and you got an awesome meal. All right, guys. And you know something? A lot more nutritious with the fresh greens, meatballs, some shaved beef. At least you're getting some protein and other things along with all that salt. All right, guys. Faux pho. Till next time, Renegade Ramen. We'll see you soon. Take care, guys. So good.